Hey, what is up YouTube? I am back with another video and I'm going to be showing you how to make an Angry Birds statue. So, if you want to make the statue, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need yellow terracotta, yellow concrete, and brown concrete. Those are the three you really need right now. I've done this video 8 times now. So, once you have those, this is all going to be split up in different sections, to say the least. This being the legs and feet. So, to start off with, what you want to do is you want to place 3 yellow terracotta on the floor, skip 1, 2 yellow terracotta, skip another 1, 2 yellow terracotta, skip 1, 3 yellow terracotta. Place a brown concrete on these 2 blocks right here. Then, what you want to do is come to either side here, and you want to come back by, I want to say it's, When would it be? Oh, my brain. It's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go over 1, come down by 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bring over by 4. Connect that back up to the front. Nope, that's 1, 2, 3, over. And create that little pattern on the other foot. Okay. Pretty simple. Nope. I went over too many. I broke quite a few blocks in the process. Yippee. Okay. You know, it's just weird. So, once you have that, well, this little shape right here, what you want to do is you want to go up. Let's do it row by row. You want to do 1 yellow terracotta, 2 yellow concrete, 1 yellow concrete, 1 yellow terracotta, then 1 yellow terracotta, 1 yellow concrete, 2 yellow concrete, 1 yellow terracotta. Do the same exact thing for the next row. Complete that off, and then bring up these brown concretes, like that. For the final row, just do yellow concrete all along. Ignore the brown concretes and leave it like that. Then, coming onto the sides here, what you want to do is you want to do 5 yellow concrete, 1 yellow terracotta. Bring that all the way up to the top here. Like that. The same exact thing over here. Then what you want to do is you want to do finish that all off with yellow concrete. Do another row of yellow concrete, then do 2 yellow concrete, 1 yellow terracotta. Finish that off with yellow concrete. For the backs, just do a solid row of yellow concrete. Do the same thing on this side. And sorry if I'm going too fast. I have literally done this video 8 times now, because for some reason, after a certain limit, the screen blackens. And it's annoying. I don't know when the limit is, so it makes it hard. Because there's a limit. There's just a random limiter. Which I never set. So whatever the limit is, I have to figure that out. So with this long of a video, prepare a lot of cuts. Just to let you guys know. So once you have completed the back, the sides, and everything, you should end up with something that looks a little bit like this. Now, what you want to do is you want to fill that in with yellow concrete, ignoring the brown concrete wall, and stop once you reach there. Bring that back with your brown concrete. Keeping it one below the rest of the yellows. And honestly, I'm just gonna fill in the 4 back because those are gonna be covered by legs and everything. So, what you want to do here is you want to make this little pattern here. You want to do 1 yellow terracotta, 3 yellow concrete. Then bring that back by 3. Wow. No. That wants to be 2. Then 1 yellow terracotta. And finish that off with yellow concrete. And that is the base of your legs. Now all you need to do is a little 3x3 square. So go up by 1, 2, just by 2. Place that. Make that. And continue that for 4 more. So 1, 2, 3. Solid row. Ah. One, 2, 3, solid row. Okay. Make your little 3x3 rows of yellow concrete. There we go. Yep. And 1 more square because there wants to be 4 squares of just yellow concrete. Like that. Okay. Then all you do is you just loop that pattern around the legs. Pretty easy. And pretty simple. Hopefully the video records. If it doesn't, I will be frustrated. Because that means no long-form content. Because my computer does not like long-form content for some odd reason. You'd think it wouldn't care because it used to not care. But now, all of a sudden, it seems to care. And it is very, very annoying. So that is one leg. And the other leg is the same exact thing. So I mean, literally, there's no difference to it. Nope, that's back too many. Yeah, you would think after making 8 of these statues, I would have it down. No. That's where it stopped before the video blackened. And I don't know why that happens. It just does for some unknown reason. And it is very annoying at this point because I want to make videos for you guys, and get your requests and do any statue. But after recording this video 8 times and not knowing whenever the screen goes black and there's only audio and no video, I don't know what I can do there other than no more long form content and just statues like that are 30 minutes or less. Because at 32, I'm wondering if it's at 30 minutes. Because Technoblade was 25, it continued on. But I also have to figure this on another video. But once you have that, you are 100% fully complete with your legs. Then you want to put back the blocks here. You want to grab out your red concrete, your red wool, your sandstone, and your terracotta. What you want to do is you want to come up to the top here, create a little red rectangle circling the legs. Like that. Then you want to come out by 4 on the front, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the back, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 on the side, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just create a little rectangle. So get here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm gonna do is I am going to fill this all in, and I will be back once I have done that. Okay, once you have finished that and you have grabbed out all of the blocks that you need, I will tell you guys what those are again if you did not remember. It is red concrete, red wool, smooth sandstone, and red terracotta. Once you have grabbed those, you want to come in by 3 on either side with your red concrete, so 1, 2, 3. Fill that in with your sandstone. If I can. Then for the next row, what you want to do is you want to do 2 red concrete. On either side, fill the rest in with sandstone. Don't know why I did not say either side. Then what you want to do that is you want to continue that for another 8 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fill that all in with the block. And I mean, you guys can use any sandstone. I prefer smooth sandstone because of the fact that sandstone is cracked. I mean, yeah, it's closer to the correct color. In my opinion, it just looks weird. That's just my opinion. So, yeah. And almost done here. Okay. And once you have filled all of those rows in, what you want to do is come up to the top here. And you want to go in by 3 red concrete on either side. So 1, 2, 3. Fill that in with sandstone. Do another 2 rows exactly the same. The front is way easier than the back, I will tell you that much. Then, what you want to do is you want to place 4 red concrete on either side, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill that in with sandstone. For the next row, you want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 3 red concrete, Do the same exact thing on the other side. So 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 3 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. Oh, you want to fill that in with sandstone. Yeah, I do have to remember to say that. 3 red concrete. Do the same exact thing on the other side. So 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red concrete. Fill the rest in with sandstone. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 5 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 5 red concrete. Fill the rest in with your sandstone. For the next row, do 4 red concrete, 2 red wool, 6 red concrete. It's 8. 8 red concrete, 2 red wool, 4 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 4 red concrete, well, 5, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 5 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, a bunch of red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete. So I said a bunch, that is about 10 red concrete. And once you have that, that is what the front of your statue wants to look like. Once you have that, it is time to move on to the back of the statue, the fun part of the statue. So, coming on to the back here, what you want to do is you want to do 6 solid rows of red concrete on top of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fill that all in with your red concrete. So that's 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Okay. Then coming up to the top here, once you have done that, what you want to do is going from left to right. You want to do it's gonna be fun. 3 red concrete. So 1, 2, 3. 2 red wool. 5 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 red wool. Fill the rest in with red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 3 red concrete, 3 red wool, darn it. I did the same thing. That wants to move over 1. So it wants to be 6 into red wool. Then this row wants to be 5 red concrete, 2 red wool. Finish the rest off with red concrete. Okay. For the next row, you're going to do 4 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. Fill the rest in with your red concrete. And sorry if I'm going fast, I'm trying to beat this buzzer beater, because apparently there is a time limit on my videos now. You're going to do 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, well actually 3 red concrete, 2 red wool, fill the rest in with your red concrete. For the next row, it is the same thing. This wants to be 3 red wool instead of 2. For the next row, you want to do 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 5 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 red concrete, 4 red wool, then 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 5 red wool, 3 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 7 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 3 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 red terracotta, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, finish the rest off with your red wool. For the next row, do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, okay, you want to do 2 red wool, 3 red terracotta, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, finish the rest off with your red wool. Then you want to do 3 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 1 red concrete, 7 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 red terracotta, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Well, no, there does not want to be a red concrete there, and after that red terracotta, you finish it off with your red wool. For the next row, you want to do 2 red wool, 2 red terracotta, 1 red concrete, finish the rest off with your red wool. For the next row, you want to do 'No, I did not make a short in the front. Okay, good. You want to do 2 red wool, 3 red terracotta, finish it off with your red wool. Then you want to do, for the final row with detail, 3 red wool, 2 red terracotta, finish the rest off with your red wool. Then to finish off the back, just do 2 solid rows of red wool. Once you have that, you will be 100% fully done with the back. And I'm going to cut the video here again, so if you have a little bit of a brief pause, just letting you guys know. Okay, so once you have finished the back, what you want to do is come over to both sides here, and you want to come in by 1 row on the back, and 1 row on the front. Just come in, and just leave that all blank with your red concrete. And once you have done that, you can come to either, well, I am going to be starting on the right arm. And what you want to do is you want to find this block right here, and place 1 red wool. Go down from that by 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Then place a red concrete. Go right at that by 3 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3. Then go up again with your red wool. Then what you want to do is you want to come over to the back here, and you want to do 1 red concrete, go down by 3, so 1, 2, 3, well 4, then bring that over by 3. Then to connect it, we have to do this little pattern. You want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 2 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red concrete. The same thing on this side. So, keeping this in mind, anything that gets put on this side wants to be put onto this side. This is going to just remain red concrete. So, doing that case, what you want to do is doing this little pattern. You want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, and actually all you do is just continue this for 2 solid rows. So, I don't know why I was just explaining it again. But then that very top row that would connect up to the top just wants to be your red concrete. And like I said, whatever you do to the one side, you want to do to the other. So, on the sides will be cut into different parts, just because I don't want to risk it. So, and I did say prepare for a lot of cuts. So once you have that, that is literally just the bottom half of his arms. So, what you want to do is you want to come up by 8 rows with your red concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. This is for the front and the back. What you then want to do is you want to, from that block, you want to count down by 2. Fill that in with your red concrete. Fill this in with your red concrete. And that in with your red concrete. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to start on this portion. Once we have put in all the detail, I am going to cut the video and fill that all in. So, what you want to do, let me find the correct side picture, because both sides are not identical. They're actually different from one another. Hopefully I have it on this picture web. And I don't. Okay. So, I guess I am going to fill this in with the red concrete. Take the picture of the other side, and then I will be back. Okay, so once you have filled those in, it is time to continue on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to front, and that is how this is going to go. So what you want to do is you want to place 1 red terracotta, 1 red wool, fill the rest in with your red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red terracotta, Well, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. Fill the rest in with your red. I have to pull something up because my phone will keep on turning off. 2 red wool, fill the rest in with your red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, and I did not place a second red wool. Moving on up, you want to do 2 red wool, 4 red concrete, 2 red wool. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, actually 2 red concrete, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 3 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete. Moving on, you want to do 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then you want to do 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then do 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 4 red concrete. Then you want to do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 5 red concrete, 3 red wool. Then you want to do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool. Then for the final row, you want to do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, leaving you with something that should look like that. And that is the side. Moving on to... We'll do the back. Moving on to the back here, what you want to do is, starting from here, what you want to do is do... I mean, honestly, that kind of works out. You want to do a solid row of red concrete. And do another solid row of red concrete. Then what you want to do is 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. Then do a solid row of red concrete. Then do 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then do 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. And finish it off with solid rows of red wool, leaving you with something that should look a little bit like that. And that is literally the side of your arms. Now I need to find the front of the arm, wherever that is. Okay. So coming over to the front here, you want to do... This is just making it too easy. 3 solid rows of red concrete. Then do 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. Finish it all off with your red wool. Once you get to the top here, you can just, it's up to you what you want to do. You want to fill it in with red wool, or if you want to fill it in with red concrete, you can do either. But once you have done that, that is your right arm 100% fully complete. So, there's going to be a cut here, and then we're going to move over onto the left. So, finish that if need be, and I will be back. Okay, continuing on, what you want to do is you want to place red wool on either side, come out by 2 red concrete, 3 red concrete, no, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool. Do the same thing on the other side, so 2 red concrete and 1 red wool. Then you want to come down by, actually no, the backs just want to be solid red concrete, so just come out by 4 with your red concrete. Then you can connect that up together. Then what you want to do is come down by 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Place a red concrete below. Like that. Okay. Then you want to connect it up in this little pattern. You want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red concrete, well, 2 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red concrete. The same thing for the back here. And fill in the bottom while you're at it, because I forgot to do that. Then what you want to do is, moving on up, you want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red terracotta, 1 red concrete. Do the same thing for the next 2 rows. Fill that all in with your red concrete. Doing the same exact thing as you did for the front to the back. Here. Okay. And once you have done that, that is your bottom half complete. Then what you want to do is you want to come up by 8 on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come down by 2. So 1, 2. Connect that. Connect this to the front. And connect this to the front. So I just found something out. Both of these sides are identical to one another. But I am going to repeat out the blocks that it goes by, because you can see some of them, but the edges are the harder ones to see. So keeping that in mind, if you guys want to continue on and you know the block layout, go ahead. But I will call this out block for block because it makes it a whole lot easier. So, continuing on, what you want to do is you want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, fill the rest in with red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, fill the rest in with red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 3 red concrete, Actually, no. 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 2 red wool. For the next row, do 2 red wool, 4 red concrete, 2 red wool. For the next row, do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red concrete actually, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 3 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, then 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 4 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 5 red concrete, 3 red wool. For the next row, do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool. Then for the next row, do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. Leaving you with something that should look like that. And that is the other side complete. Exactly identical. I was thinking that both sides were different, but the only thing that is different are the front and the back. So, no, I just dropped it. And it combined with the other red. No, I do not want that. Okay. So coming on back up here, I am going to cut it again and fill that all in once I have done this. What you want to do is seriously, this is just making it a whole lot easier. 3 solid rows of red concrete on the front here. Then 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. Well, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Then 1 red concrete, and fill the rest in with your red wool. I mean, a little different, not much though. And that is what the front wants to look like here. Once you have that, nope, that's not the right picture. I mean, I can tell, but it's not the right picture. Where's the picture at? It's right here. Okay, coming on to the back here. What you want to do is you want to do 2 solid rows of red wool, red concrete, then 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. Solid row of red concrete. 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then 1 red wool, 2 red concrete. Well, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Then 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. fill the rest in with your red wool. And at the top here, you can fill it in with your red wool if you want to. It is all up to you. Leaving you with something that should look like that on the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the sides with the red concrete that I have left open, and then I will be back. Okay, so once you have filled that all in, it is time to move over onto the face. So for the face, here's what you're going to need. You are going to need, well, the head. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need red concrete, red wool, red terracotta, light gray wool, white wool, black wool, yellow terracotta, and yellow concrete. Once you have all of those blocks, come up to the top here, place a solid row of red concrete, then come out by two. Well, come out by one row with your red concrete. Then what you want to do is, let me pull up my phone on my computer. You want to do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red concrete, and now we'll continue on. Wow, that is really hard to tell. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red concrete. We'll do this. Come over to the other side. Do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red concrete. So it is 5. Well, it's actually 8. But then coming over to the other side, you want to do 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 7 red concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is not 7. Wow. This statue is way bigger than I thought. Do another 2. Do 3 red wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this does not add up. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then you'll start seeing something cool here. We're gonna get red space. And you want to know something that's crazy? Once this happens, you guys are gonna automatically know who he is. So, once you have done that, what you want to do is this little pattern. You want to do 2 red concrete, 1 light gray, 4 white wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 light gray, 1 yellow concrete, 1 yellow terracotta, 1 yellow concrete, 1 light gray, 4 white wool, 4 right? Yeah. 1 light gray, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 6 white wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 6 white wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 3 red white wool, 2 black wool, 1 white wool, 3 red wool, 1 white wool, 2 black wool, 3 white wool, 2 red wool. Well, 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 4 light gray, 1 black wool, 1 light gray, 3 red wool, 1 white wool. Okay, these want to be light gray. 1 light gray, 1 black wool, 4 light gray, then 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 8 black wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 actually. 1 red wool, then another 9 black wool. Then what you want to do is you want to do that for... How many rows do you even want to do that thing for? I want to say it's 4. You're going to do that for 4 solid rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Giving you 5 rows in total. Yeah, that seems about right. Right now he looks flat. He don't have a beak, he don't have anything. He just has his eyeballs and his big black squares on his face that will later become 3D and turn into his bushy eyebrows. I will tell you that much. Oh, and this side here, once you reach the top row, you want to fill that in with red concrete. So, once you have done that, you want to do 10 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 red wool. Then finish that off with red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 2 red wool. Finish the rest of it off with red concrete. Then do the same exact thing for the next row. So 2 red wool, finish the rest off with red concrete. Like that so far. He is looking a little flat. Once we add in all the 3D details, it will look exactly like red. But, pause the video here. I'm going to cut it here again and move on to the back. Okay, so I just found something out just by checking. All of this you want to move up by 1 row. So, I mean, not much to change here. Really? So, just move that up by 1, each one of these by 1. That you do want to keep. This wants to be black wool. And this wants to be black wool. So same exact thing, just moved up by 1 row each. So, pause the video, do that. And once you have done that, you want to come over to the back here. Let me find the picture of the back. It's somewhere along here. It's so annoying because, like, I could just hear my audio cutting out right now. Like, it is annoying. And it's only whenever I don't talk. So, what you want to do is you want to bring all of these back until they hang off the back of the statue by 2. And then there's going to be a little pattern to this. So, make sure they're hanging off the back by 2 on each side. Then what you're going to want to do is, starting on this side, what you want to do is you want to do 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, then finish it all off. Just fill that in with your red concrete. And under here, just fill this in with your red concrete too. So, Once you have done that, moving on to the next row, you want to do 3 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 4 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 red wool, oh, that's only 3 red concrete actually, so move this over by 1, then 3 red concrete. Then for the next row, you want to do 4 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool. Finish it off with your red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 4 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red concrete. Then do 2 red wool, fill the rest in with red concrete. For the next row, do 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, well, 1 red concrete actually, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, finish the, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, finish the rest off with red concrete. I mean, yeah, now I can just continue just by being zoomed out. Then you want to do 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, that was a terracotta, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool. No, I did do something right. Yeah. 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 2 red concrete. For the next row, you want to do 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool. Actually, is that right? This doesn't seem right. Ah, shoot. Oh, that is going up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Whoops. Okay. That block wants to be broken and this block wants to be broken and those two want to be red concrete. So then you would do 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Now I know where I'm at. 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 3 red wool, so 1, 2, 3. 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Finish that all off with 4 red wool. For the next row, you want to do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, that's a yellow, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Finish that all off with your red wool. Then, all you need to do is just finish the back of it off with your red wool. And honestly, that just makes things a whole lot easier. And also the fact that both sides are identical too. So, there's 1 block higher than the head. I'm gonna connect this up to the front. Yep, those are all right and dandy. Okay. This is what the back wants to look like. Pause it and if needed. Gotta cut the video again. And I will be back with the sides. Okay, continuing on with the sides here. What you want to do is you want to place... I hate that the Spider-Man head is blocking it. I'll be right here, buddy. Okay. What you want to do is you want to place 3 red concrete. Actually, no, this just wants to be a solid row of red concrete. Then you want to do 3 red concrete, 3 red wool. Fill the rest in with your red concrete. Moving on up, you want to do 3 red concrete, 4 red wool. Fill the rest in with red concrete here. For the next row, do 4 red concrete, 3 red wool, 3 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete. Then do 3 red wool, 6 red concrete, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 7. 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then you want to do 4 red wool, 2 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Well, 1 red concrete, to actually make that 2 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then you want to do 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 5 red wool, 1 red concrete. Well, 4 red concrete actually. Then for the next row, do 2 red wool, 3 red concrete, 5 red wool, 3 red concrete, 1 red wool. For the next row, do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool. Then for the next row, you want to do 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 3 oops. This actually wants to be a red wool. And this wants to be a red concrete. Then fill the rest in with your red wool. For the next row, you want to do 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Fill the rest in with your red wool. Then for the next row, do 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Fill the rest in with your red wool. Finish it off. Nope. This wants to go up 1 more. Yep, this wants to go up 1 more. That, like that. And then the last 2 rows should just be solid rows of red wool. Leaving you with something that should look like that. Once you have that, all you need to do, pause the video if needed, all you need to do is just copy it onto the other side. So, honestly, I mean, pretty simple and pretty easy to do. all you do is you just copy it onto the other side. Yeah. You know? It's kind of easy, but kind of hard at the same time. I feel like the red wool is easier to do than the red concrete. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. No, that goes here. I mean, there's more red wool than there is red concrete, so come on, it has to be somewhat easier, I would hope. You know? Wow. Death and silence, it has become the darkness of the night, with deadly silence, and there's no noise at all. You know, I know I'm going insane, but it's just silence with the noises of Minecraft. It's just it. Just the noises of Minecraft. Yep. Nothing else. It is just silence. Now, this is perfect. What's it doing? Yeah. And the rest is just red concrete. Hopefully I got this right. I mean, I have the picture pulled up, so hopefully I got this right. Huh. Wow, that is actually right. So this is what the side wants to look like, and once you have done that, all you need to do is fill the top of the head in with your red wool. So I will do that, and I will be back. Okay, so once you have filled in the top here, all you need to do is we're going to add in the last 3D elements of the face, starting off with the beak, because, buddy, he's not a bird until he has a beak. So, what you want to do is come down here. You're going to find this block right here. Actually, no, it wants to be this block. And what you want to do is come out by 3 with your yellow terracotta. So, 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 yellow concrete. Then, going on top here, you want to do 3 yellow terracotta. Come over to the other side and do that too. So, 3 yellow terracotta, 2 yellow concrete, 3 yellow terracotta. Then all you need to do is fill this in with the corresponding blocks that you have. Fill that in with, leaving you with this so far. Coming up to the top here, what you want to do is... Okay. Well, 1 yellow concrete, go left by 1, then place that, then do 1 yellow wool, actually 2 yellow wool, then 3 yellow concrete, so 1, 2, 3. Then that all can be filled in with yellow concrete. Oh, I messed this up. Okay. This wants to be yellow terracotta. Nope. Okay. Guys, I made a list and I completely spaced off that list. So delete all that. And what you want to do is you want to find the block right here. And what you want to do is you want to come out by 1 yellow terracotta on either side. Then do 2 yellow concrete on either side. Then come out by another 2 yellow terracotta like that. Then you fill this in the middle right here with your yellow concrete. And then this right under here you can fill in with your yellow concrete too. But for the next row, and this is literally, the beak is only 2 rows, I'm going to go from left to right. You want to do 2 yellow concrete, 2 yellow wool, 3 yellow concrete. Then the top of that is just filled in with your yellow concrete, like that. Leaving you with something that should look like that. And honestly, right now that kind of looks like red. But what you want to do is these eyebrows, you want to extend them out by 1 off of your statue. So extend these all off by 1. Like so. Then expand them off of the statue by 1, wrapping them around that black wool there. Like so. Leaving you with this right now. Then, once you have done the eyebrows, you want to find this red concrete here, and you want to bring it out by 3 from the front of the statue. So 1, 2, 3. Actually make that 4. 4. And this black wool wants to cover that up, like that. Then, once you have come out by 4, so basically 3 out from the eyebrow, what you want to do is you want to do this little pattern. You want to do... Okay, now seriously, I do not know why I did it like this. But it's going to go up and down. So, from left to right. So what you want to do is you want to do... Well, you actually can do it any way that you want to. So what you want to do is you want to go up by 4 with your red concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 red wool. 2 red concrete. For the next row, do 3 red concrete. 4 red wool. 1 red concrete. For the next 5 rows, do 3 red concrete. 5 red wool. And like I said, that is for the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That one being the first. Well, this one being the first. Then you want to do, once you have that, you want to do 3 red concrete, 4 red wool, 1 red concrete. For the next row, do 4 red concrete, 2 red wool, 2 red concrete, leaving you with something that looks like that. Then you can fill this all in up to the top of the head, like so. Then, coming from this block, you want to come back by 11 with your red concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then going from the side here, you want to come back by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect that up to the front. Then just connect that up here, like so. And that is one of the shapes fully complete. And this one is literally just filled in with red concrete. So pause the video if you want to fill it in, but I will fill it in later. But at the current moment, let's move on to the other one. So the other one is expanded out on just these red concrete, and it wants to come out by 2 from the head. So 1, 2 out. Then going by row, what you want to do is I have to scroll down on this because it is actually on another page now. What you want to do is you want to do 1 solid row of red concrete. So like that. Then you want to do 1 red concrete, 5 red wool, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either I did something wrong or something's not right here. One solid row red concrete, 1 red concrete, 5 red wool, 1 red concrete. Okay, but this is all right. Wait, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. 4 rows. 5 same row. Ow! Whoops. That's what's wrong. This wants to be 1 block bigger. Whoopsie daisy. I mean, I don't like that's that hard of a... No. Five same row. Yeah, that can't be right. Okay. Ignore what I just did. Because there's no way that that is right. Okay. So make that 6 red wool, 1 red concrete. Yeah, that has to be right. Okay, moving on up. What you want to do is 2 solid rows of red wool, so 1, 2. Then do a solid row of red terracotta. Then what you want to do is fill this in and this in. You really don't have to, but I will fill this in right here, just to cover that up. Then what you want to do is you want to come back by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, wait. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then connect that up to the other side here, like so. Then what you want to do is you want to do 2 solid rows of red wool all the way around. I did 3 solid rows red. So I would assume either red is RC. No, it's red concrete. So that'd be 1, 2. And then this wants to be backed by 3 red terracotta, so 1, 2, 3, then 4 red concrete. So all you need to do is where you have the red terracotta, you're going to fill it in until you hit this square. So basically like this. Fill that in. And fill this in. And once I have done that, I will be back. Okay, so once you have filled those in, you are actually 100% fully complete. And it is up to you guys if you want to keep it. But I went back to the original statue and I looked. And this tiny little, this extra tuft of hair wants to be shrank by 2 blocks. And I mean, it ain't like it's a hard fix. But then it is more accurate to the physical skin. But it's all up to you guys if you do want to do that. But once you have filled those all in with your red concrete and all that kind of fun jazz, you are 100% fully done with your reds, with your red Angry Bird statue. If you guys have made it through this video, have this own statue standing in your world, I would appreciate a like, a comment, or even sharing this kind of video, because 8 tries to make this thing is kind of ridiculous. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and be on the lookout for some cool new statues. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!